welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. So last week I uploaded a video called How Makeup Affected My Mental Health and My Anxiety, and I was really nervous recording and uploading that video because mental health is something that I know makes people uncomfortable to talk about. I think there's a lot of negative stigma around talking about mental health that I don't think needs to be there. I think it needs to be normalized, and we all need to be able to talk about our mental health more because that way people won't feel so alone. So I'm very happy that I uploaded that, and I'm so happy that it got such a good response. I got so many really sweet comments of people saying that they related to the video and that they had similar experiences with makeup, but it just really fueled a good conversation about the importance of taking care of yourself, and I thought that was awesome. So naturally, I thought, why not make a whole series about this? Why stop at one video that made me feel good and made other people feel good? Today I am starting a series on my channel called Makeup and Mental Health, and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. we are going to be talking about mental health, talking about how we're doing, just checking in with myself, checking in with you guys, talking about what we're doing to take care of ourselves, and of course, we're gonna be doing makeup. I'm not gonna be talking about the products or anything, so if you're curious about anything that I'm gonna be wearing today, I'll list it all down below. Mental health is the focus. Makeup is what helps me relax, so that's what I'm gonna be doing today. So I encourage you to find a comfy spot, maybe get a nice warm cup of coffee, light your favorite candle, and get ready to relax, because that's the whole point of this video. No stress, just self-care, just makeup. So be sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any video in this series. Again, I'm gonna be uploading them every Wednesday at 4 p.m. And yeah, let's get into it. So I decided for the focus of today's video, I want to talk about my New Year's resolutions. It is March 3rd today when I'm recording this. We are officially into the third month of 2020. I wanted to check in on my own New Year's resolutions and see how I'm doing. So the first resolution that I had written down for myself was to make more content that I enjoy making. If you create content of any kind, I think we can all benefit from this, because I know I find myself a lot of the time getting into a funk where I'm just making content that I think is going to get views, and I'm just making content that I think people want to see. I mean, of course, as YouTubers, I think it is important to make content that your subscribers want to see. In the same vein, it's not, because I think you should always be making content that you like, because if you're only getting into YouTube to gain subscribers, or if you're only starting your platform because you want to have a huge audience, I don't think you're doing it for the right reason. If you should gain a huge audience from doing something that you don't care about, I don't know, I just feel like I would feel like a fraud if I ended up getting a bunch of subscribers from a video that I didn't really care about. So that is why I made my first resolution for this year to make more content that I enjoy making, and I think that so far I have accomplished that. Obviously, last week I uploaded my makeup and mental health video, which I did not think anyone would watch. I thought was just going to be solely for me, and I was okay with that. And it's great that it got a good response, and it's great that it facilitated an awesome conversation, but I really did make that video for me, and I made it because I wanted to make it. And just the fact that it did well and it's been a successful video makes it feel even better, because I know that that video was 100% something that I wanted to do. Nobody suggested that I make it. I didn't make it because I saw that other mental health videos were doing well. I don't know. I hope that they're doing well, but I don't know. I haven't checked into that. But it just makes it feel even more awesome because it was a video that I wanted to make. All in all, I would say I'm doing really well with my first resolution to continue making content that I like. And if you don't like it, you can get out of here, because I don't care. This content's for me. I'm just kidding. I really hope you like my content. Let's move on to my next resolution, which was to make more things. Yes, I wanted to make more things this year. When I was in high school, I really liked art, and I always took art classes. I really enjoy painting. I enjoy making collages. I enjoy doing things with my hands. I'm a very tactile person. I think that's another reason I like makeup so much. I love feeling things, not necessarily emotionally, but physically on my fingers. I like working with my hands, and my resolution for this year was to make more things And so far, I'm doing very well with that resolution. I've already made something and I have it right here. I'm gonna show you. I made this little resin art box. I made this little jewelry box out of resin. Look, it has a jewel in it already. Oh, it's doing its job, fantastic. It's not perfect. If you look up close, you can see it has a ton of bubbles in it, which apparently it's not supposed to, but I found out it's because my apartment is too cold, so guess I gotta figure out how to make it warmer in here to not get these big air bubbles, but I love how the box turned out. And it's so great to make something with your hands, and it's so satisfying, especially with resin art, because you have to let them set in the molds for a full 24 hours before you even get to see how it looks. So I had to be so patient while waiting for this, but the big reveal was totally worth it because it came out so cute, and I can't wait to make more. So yeah, I'm doing pretty great with my resolution to make more things with my hands, and I want to try even more stuff. I want to do more resin art, but I also want to paint more. I do paint a lot. I paint mostly pictures of Bert, but that is because that is what brings me the most joy. And if your art does not bring you joy, then perhaps you need to seek a different way of doing it. Or maybe you just have to change your mindset. I don't know, but making paintings of Bert really brings me joy. So I'm gonna continue to do those. I'm gonna continue to work on my resin art, and who knows, maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll knit something, maybe I'll make clothing. Who knows, who knows? So many possibilities, so many avenues for me to go down. All right, so now that we've talked about 2 resolutions that I'm doing amazing at and was totally comfortable talking about, let's talk about one I'm not doing so great at and is not going to be comfy to talk about. One resolution I made for myself that I have not done a great job of so far is to go out by myself more. So I made that resolution because I am thrilled to go outside. When my boyfriend and I go outside together, we take walks together every single night, and they're so fun. I love to go for long walks. I love to be out in nature. The outdoors affects my mental health a lot. If I don't get outside at all during the day, I feel super, super anxious. So like getting outside, incredibly important to my mental health. Going outside by myself, not so great for my mental health. A challenge to my mental health, I should say. Why am I afraid to leave the house by myself? I don't really know. I feel like a lot of it stems behind the feeling of just like, I'm constantly afraid that something bad is going to happen, that someone is going to talk to me, that is going to make me uncomfortable. I don't like being looked at by strangers. I feel like we all as people, especially as women, we get stared at by men sometimes when we don't want to be stared at, and I know that bothers everyone, but that really bothers me. I get so anxious when I am being looked at by a man that I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to be looked at by any man, first of all, unless it's Bert or my boyfriend. I don't want to be looked at by any man, but I get especially uncomfortable when I am looked at by strange men. So sometimes, yes, that does prevent me from going outside by myself. And that sucks that I have to worry about that. First, let's just talk about it that way, because when I go out for walks with my boyfriend, and when my boyfriend and I go out and do stuff together, men don't look at me. Men don't bother me. Nobody makes me uncomfortable. Nobody gives me an uncomfortable stare. And that's great, but it sucks that it has to take me being with a man for that to happen, because when I am out by myself, I do experience men staring at me and making me feel uncomfortable and making me feel unsafe and making me have to worry that they're gonna say something to me or that I'm gonna have to, get out of an uncomfortable situation, especially taking the train. Strange men want to stare at you, they want to look at you, they want to stand too close to you. I don't want to live my life in fear, because that doesn't happen every single time I go out. Let's be clear, that happens sometimes, and I've only had a handful of experiences where it really, really upset me or really, really made me uncomfortable. Most of the time I'm fine. Most of the time I have gone out by myself, things have been okay. I keep my head down and I stare at my phone and nobody bothers me. So I really just need to keep all that in mind and realize that you can't live your life being afraid to go outside by yourself and being afraid to do things by yourself, because most of the time it is going to be fine. And I just really like to live in a world where there are more consequences for men who make you uncomfortable, because I think that would help. But I can't sit around waiting for that to happen forever. So yeah, in conclusion, going out by myself more is a resolution that I'm still working on. I know that I can do it, and I will get better at it, and I just need to do little things at a time, whether it's just going out and grabbing myself a cup of coffee, taking a quick walk around the neighborhood, because as I said, I love to go outside. I love being outside. My mental health relies so much on outdoor time. It is something that I'm going to continue to work on, and I am not going to give up, and I'm not going to forget about. Man, oh man, did I really just commit to being this vulnerable every Wednesday? Ooh, it's okay. It's okay. This is good for me. It is good to force myself to talk about things that make me uncomfortable, because the only way we grow is to talk about things. So yeah, I feel good about that. So moving on to the last resolution that I think I want to talk about today, which is to be kinder to myself. I'm doing pretty well on that. I don't think I'm doing perfectly. I know I definitely still have moments where I get really, really hard on myself, and I really give myself a hard time about things that I don't have much control over, but I think I am getting better. And something that has really helped me that I would like to share with you is something I learned in a meditation class that I took one time. I've taken one meditation class. I'd like to take more, because I think meditation is incredibly helpful when it comes to being kinder to yourself. So something that I learned in that class is that we are never going to be able to fully eliminate the mean voices in our head. And I think once you come to terms with that, life will be a lot easier. And all we really can do is learn when to recognize that those voices are coming out. There's something that the mean voices in my head say to me a lot is that I am fat, which is, first of all, let me just say, being fat is not a bad thing. It is not an insult. It is something people are, and it's totally fine. But coming from someone who has had an eating disorder before, that is not something that makes me feel good when the mean voices say that I'm fat. So something that I have started saying in response to those mean voices, and I will say this out loud if I'm alone, if I'm in a place where I can say it out loud. If I'm not, I say it in my head, but I will literally say out loud, no, stop that. That's not true. That's mean, and that's not true at all. And I do find that that helps. Like, I treat the mean voices like they are a person that I don't know insulting me. And I think that helps. I think of when you think of the mean voices in your head as your own voice, they're a lot harder to deal with. I think that we are all a lot kinder to our friends than we are to ourselves. If you think of the mean voices in your head as being another person who is talking to your friend, you are your friend in this situation, and you say out loud to them, no, that's not true and that's mean. Don't you dare say that about my friend. Don't you dare say that about me. I have found that that has been a helpful way for me to deal with those voices. Or someone ever went up to one of my friends and said, you are ugly. First of all, I'd kick their butt. That's not true. I'm not a violent person, but I would yell at them and I would call them out and I would say, how dare you say that about my friend who is beautiful and smart and funny and perfect and a phenomenal friend and a phenomenal person. So why do we allow these mean voices to say mean things about ourselves? And I really do think it's been helpful for me to say the words out loud. No, don't say that. If you're not in a place where you can say the words out loud, just say it in your head. No, don't say that. That's not true. Something that also helps with that is being more in tune to it. So as soon as the negative thought comes up, as soon as the negative thought, you're fat, comes into my head, being able to notice it before you let it go any further. Because I think I used to just allow the thoughts to happen and think like, oh, they're in my head. Let them go. Let my mean voice keep talking. And I would let my mean voice talk as long as she wanted to. I would let her say that I was fat. I would let her say that I was ugly. I would let her say that I was not smart and not talented. And I would just let her go to town. But guess what? I don't do that anymore. She doesn't get to talk for more than the 2 seconds she sneaks her words in. Because now, as soon as she gets her first 2 words in, you're fat, I say, hey, knock it off. Cut it out. You're done, you're out of here. We're not listening to you because you don't have anything productive to say. Of course, I'm not perfect. Of course, sometimes my mean voices talk a little longer than others. But what I've learned through this meditation class that I took is that if you just notice when you're thinking a negative thought and you can catch it, that's half the battle, because we spend so much of our lives just letting our mean voices talk as long as they want, and we don't react to it. We don't even pick up on it. So I think if you can focus on rather than saying like, oh, I'm never gonna say anything bad about myself, I'm never gonna think negatively about myself. It's just not really possible. We can't help what our thoughts are, you know, especially living in a society where there's so much pressure on people to look a certain way and to have a certain body type and to have a certain image. Like, I don't think it's feasible to never have a negative thought about yourself. And that's why I made my goal to be kinder to myself, not to never think poorly of myself, because I know it's not possible, but I think that if you can just notice when you're having the negative thought, say out loud, shut up, stop, don't say that, it has been incredibly helpful to me. My negative voices have not been so loud lately, and they definitely don't speak for as long. So if this is something that you are also struggling with, I feel for you, and I hope that you are able to work on being kind to yourself and quieting those voices a little bit, because it definitely makes life a lot more enjoyable when the mean voices are not so loud. Alright, you guys, that's it. That is the end of this week's makeup and mental health chat. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you like this series, but again, as I said when I talked about my resolutions, I like it, so it doesn't matter if you like it, because I'm gonna keep doing it, but I do still hope that you like it. Yeah, so if you do like this series, I hope that you'll subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. Again, I'm going to be posting mental health and makeup chats every Wednesday at 4 p.m., so definitely be sure to subscribe for that. Remember to leave what you're looking forward to down in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys. I love to talk to you guys. I love talking about mental health with my friends, you guys, the subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!